Hello there, and as usual, I'm Aaron from Laststandgamers, and welcome back to part 2 of the final battle. We've seen all sorts of tactics so far, from people isolating single ships, jump drive strategies, and players forming giant alliances. The current update of the situation is we have two large alliance type factions. We have DBS and Dash on one side, and we have the majority of the players from the server on the other, in a temporary alliance that could falter at any moment. Coming into the action now, we can see we've got Banana D's ship. This is a heavily armoured ship, not quite finished, so you can see he's driving that in on a little bit of a giggle as a bit of target practice, and it's soaking up them shells, but you're going to see some of the firepower that the MCRN have got here. You can see that massive cluster shell firing and exploding. Half the shells missed, but it looked spectacular. You see the firepower of MCRN's probably keeping this faction in line at the moment. They seem to be at the head of the alliance, and they're convincing the players to work together temporarily, but will this fold? It's only a matter of time. Banana D's ship is taking some serious damage there. More cluster shells are going in. And we've even decided to jump in with a few admin ships as well. So Conrad's here with his freshly designed ship. He's got himself some serious firepower on there. But the only issue is he's slap bang in the middle of the defenders, and they are ripping his ship to shred. But what I will say is my ship doesn't show any better results. I jump in there and the players rip me apart as well. Here I am, I'm jumping in, I let off about 2 volleys and I'm out of there. I try to activate my jump drive, but it is too late. My systems are overwhelmed by their firepower. Railguns are hitting me, lasers, I'm getting blasted back and forth. My ship doesn't have, or doesn't really stand a chance, and this was completely made out of heavy armour as well. Me trying to frantically set my jump drive to get away. I thought it activated, but something reset it. Yeah, it was a mess in there. Us admins couldn't affect this battle at this moment in time. It's still firmly in the hands of this alliance who gets out of that jump gate. If that's going to change, it's going to be a matter of tactics, and if the alliance starts to betray each other for the end. So, as the alliance sat there, they repaired, they worked on some of their weapons, they got their ammunition back. DBS did the same in the background. There's a few incidents, of course, as you can see here, where MCRN fired some missiles and people hadn't set up their turrets to target neutrals correctly, and there was a little bit of fire. Players were worried that the ring had become damaged, and Banana D popped back in with his usual drive-by sort of strategy of his, where he just shoots on past and becomes a target. The ring wasn't damaged though. Players had a good chance and they were still able to get out of there, but they had to be careful. If they had a big fight around it and the crossfire continues to happen like this, they could risk losing the ring and having some further issues on their hand. So as you can see from the setup here, it looks like we've got over 5, 6, 7 ships. We've also got a small grid fighter. Not too many small grid fighters arriving at this end event, just because the big ships host so much firepower, it's hard for them to actually have a chance to survive. So there they go. They've waited. DBS have repaired. Dash have repaired. Let's see if their perimeter holds. A few new little ships come in to protect the edge. Ryan and a few of the MCRN ships decide to venture to the perimeter as well to see if they can bait some of DBS in, and this could be the catalyst in the final large battle. So Raffletron up front with his red ship, Ryan following in behind, and they're heading over to DBS, but could this be a trap for them to be lured even further away? Weapons are starting to fire at long ranges, but nothing has happened quite yet. We've got some return fire coming from Indominus' ship here, but Indominus could be leading them into another ambush. Let's keep our eyes peeled and see if we get any more red markers. Raffletron is putting out a lot of fire in Indominus. Ryan is joining in the fight. If Rex is left out like this... Oh, hold on, it's an ambush. They've sprung it from all sides. DBS Dash are popping in from all flanks, and they are unleashing a heavy payload from the flanks on Raffletron. Raffletron needs to get himself out of there, or he's going to become victim just like the players before him. Ryan's pulled off to the rear and is offering some support, but this overwhelming firepower is going to rip through Raffletron's armour. He needs to stay protected, get that jump drive activated, and get the hell out of there. You can see his armour is being torn to shreds. Thrusters are going down. Ryan's trying to do some damage to Indominus, but he's just not able to keep up, and it looks like Loot Goblin's coming back in with his floating surfboard or half a battleship, once again hoping for a cheeky little ram. The cargo ship's using that laser. It looks like Raffletron's heading straight towards him. I don't know if the cargo ship's going to attempt to jump out there and avoid a collision. The jump drives are a great way to save yourself from having a collision. Rockets are coming out of that thing. Look at the firepower that's being delivered to Ruffletron there. I think he might be out of the action after this fight. Oof, look at that. We've got tracers coming from the left from one of Dash's ships. Ryan's starting to get broken up on the left there as well. If Dash split their forces a little bit, they could even deliver even a bit more firepower. Ryan there, he's splitting one of the guys off the back. His rear thrusters seem still to be operational. Quite a heavily armoured ship design by the look of it. Very nice indeed. And yes, he's managed to split one off the flank, but T-Rex might be leading him into another little ambush. Too bad for Ruffletron and his ship getting ripped apart. There he goes. Indominus Rex has done some serious work there. He did a nice little bait strategy, brought them in, and the rest of his team did the rest. Some serious smoking going on though aboard his ship as well. He's going to have to do some repairs. The half surfboard ship is picking out another target that looks like he's got a vendetta, Luke Goblin, hasn't he, against Indominus. He seems to want to ram him with that surfboard at no matter the cost. I just think Indominus is going to jump out of there every time he gets close though. It's about time he probably brought in one of his larger battleships as well and probably changed this fight a little bit more with firepower rather than relying on a ramming strategy. So you can see Ruffletron has been focused and pretty much eliminated at this point. The cargo ship and the Dash ship are doing the last bits of damage to him. Abandoned by Ryan, who's flown off the other way, and the rest of the fleet haven't shown up to back them. DBS and Dash have continued to carry this isolation tactic out to great effect. Really nice to see this sort of organisation on the server. So you can see the laser beam focus, cutting some of them parts away, focusing on them important areas. Still thrust from Ruffletron and a few shots going out, but the cargo ship is intercepting a lot of the firepower with its PDC turrets, and he looks like he's adrift. Maybe we can get ourselves inside this ship and see what's going on in a moment or two, see if he's still got any seats or any major control. Still thrust at the back. I'm not seeing much gyroscopic movement. Heading back over to the ring, Banana D is doing another drive-by, as expected, convincing all the turrets to waste ammunition on them. I don't know who Banana D's working for on this one. Is he working for DBS and Dash, or is he just going for a bit of a drive-by to see how much armour his ship can take? But yeah, the point is starting to become a little bit undermanned, and if DBS and Dash do show up there in full force, they might be able to wrestle MCRN off the point. Here's one of the little smaller fighters going in on the action. I think one of the only small fighters that arrived at this final event. Just pretty weak and, well, they're pretty hard to actually do much with when you're firing against all them PDCs and big weapons on the larger ships. So back at the gate, MCRN are still holding strong. They haven't left the point, even though their alliances with the factions have started to crumble. They're holding the centre point with the largest ship, and they are trying to direct the alliance, but the alliance is crumbling. It's falling apart one by one. One ship's drifting off, another one's trying to get itself into a fight, and it looks like it's starting to happen again over on the flank. We've got two other members starting to dispute their alliance agreements. Oh, it looks like we've got the cool sort of pirate ship looking vessel over here, and we've also got another one that are engaging each other. Rivals probably from early on within the season have emerged, and it's hard to be in an alliance with someone that you want to destroy or have a battle with, and this fight's breaking out off to the side here. MCRN are trying rapidly over text chat. You can see it on the side when it pops up in a moment, to convince these guys, you know, to work together against DBS and Dash with them to get a little bit closer to the end event. But the fire going out looks pretty damn equal. It's just going to be a matter of who lands them important shots, both with these frontal barrages. It looks like this ship's also lacking the PDCs, where the other vessel has plenty of firepower going. We've got the laser there that looks like it's shooting the front of its own ship, and he's got his backup ship over there on the left as well. Jump ring remaining clear. MCRN begging these guys to stop shooting at each other and start focusing on the defence. I think that's it. I think this is going to be the ending point for the alliance. More people are going to start to break away. I've also noticed that there is some hesitation in MBS. They might want to fight out with MCRN. Who knows what's going on in the voice chats at the moment in time. Up from above, a few stray shots, and this battle is continuing. We've got a lot of damage, it looks like, to the front and the bottom of that heavy reinforced hull. The other ship itself is just engaging now with PDCs. It's completely lost its front firing weapons. I'm not seeing much front firing from either, so that could be complete damage. Just some blasters going back and forth, and them spicy meatball turrets. Now Dash have spotted this, and they're going to start manoeuvring once again on some of the ships that have been left to the side. They spotted this Gundam type mech ship that's been left to one side, and they are slowly edging in on some of the MBS ships as well. If the Alliance pull this together and start focusing back and massing their firepower instead of getting chased off like this, they may be in trouble. You see the Dash ship there is jumping into a position to get behind the mech. The cargo ship is doing some work on two flanks. He is jumping away as well. They're repositioning themselves and planning another attack strategy. Lots of shots going out right over the top of the cargo ship. They're doing no damage at all. Tracer fire going out at some of their missiles. What are Dash doing here? Look at that thing as well. That's damn cool, isn't it? Got some real nice firepower on top of that. Coming back over to the ring, you can see NBS now are starting to engage MCRN around the main point, and you know, nothing to stop them. The Alliance is over in their head. They want to take that point for themselves. We're getting closer and closer to midnight, and now is the best time to make that strike, weaken MCRN where you have a chance, and capture the middle area. Look at the firepower going out from MCRN though. Ryan looks like he is getting targeted as well, unless that's his missiles. No, it looks like Ryan and his ship up at the top left are still holding an alliance with MCRN, as NBS are coming in and trying to engage them. Not too much damage on these ships. It looks like they've been out of the majority of the fight, and because of that, they'll be able to fight on through to the end. NBS are coming in. They've got the Gladius laser firing by the look of it, and a few PDC turrets, but that ship's taken a lot of heavy damage from before. And Ryan's is looking pretty damn fine. There's nothing wrong with it at the current moment in time. We need to fix up a thruster perhaps on the back, but really not sustain too much damage. And them shots going out. That is some serious blasting firepower. Maybe they're targeting some essential devices. Oh, the top of the bottom bit's ripped off and been cleaned up there. Oh, it'd be cool to see some of these nacelle thrusters being ripped off as well. And yeah, he's done a jump out. Good call there. He took a lot of damage. He did give a bit of damage out. A bit of repairing and a few weapon adjustments and a replumb, and he can come back in and fight a little bit later on in the event. Of course, the jump drive is delayed ever so slightly because of the amount of carnage that's going on. So moving back over to the portal, you can see that Loot Goblins actually managed to harpoon Indominus Rex's ship. I think he's trying to jump out. I wonder if he'll succeed, but they are jammed in with each other, and if you know anything about Space Engineers, when two ships have merged like this, there is nothing separating them. If Loot Goblin holds him there for the rest of the alliance of ships to engage, they will rip Indominus apart. But you can see that the fight's starting to break out. Dash and DBS are trying to cover Indominus by the look of it. There's some MBS ships still in the area as well, giving out a little bit of firepower. But yeah, the majority of the focus looks like it is on Indominus. It looks like the cargo ship down at the bottom is trying to focus on Loot Goblin's belly. But yeah, it's going to be the end of Indominus. Loot Goblin's armor's super thick. He can sit it out, and his turrets just hammering him from the side. I wonder what he's saying in that group chat now. He must be panicking for his life. Maybe asking for some backup of the rest of Dash or DBS, or planning his next move. Still stuck there. It's a bit of a gyroscope battle by the look of it at the moment. Indominus has got a lot of gyroscopes, but that big battleship has even more. MBS are in a little skirmish off to the side as well. With what faction is this? Is this a Dash ship? Oh no, this is Ryan. Ryan's still in a skirmish with MBS over on this side. Ryan's really not taking too much damage, but he's dealing out a lot of fire. Back over to the battleship over there, it looks like it's engaging them with a little bit of laser fire. This whole little skirmish is breaking out all over the place now. The alliance looks like it's completely fallen apart. The only ones that are in existence still look to be DBS. So one of the small fighters just drifting past. I'm not too sure if that's still alive. Yeah, it's still operating. Guns still firing. Oh, it's targeting the cargo ship that's just popped in. Oh, DBS, that is a bad place to park your cargo ship. MCRN are smashing it from the side. The tracer fire is absolutely unreal. The focus is going to rip that ship in half. It looks like even the NBS ship is targeting the back of the cargo ship there as well. They do not want DBS or Dash to hold this position. Tracer fire is getting a little bit too intense for that cargo ship, and he's activated his jump drive and he's attempting to get out of there. A good idea. It looks like we've got the mech at the top left there. trying to engage as well. A lot of ships have kind of crossed the lines, and I'm trying to work out who's shooting at who. It's all a bit of madness. That's the MBS ship down there. We've got the DBS cargo that should be jumping out any second, and then it looks like Ryan has rammed another MBS ship up here as well. So yeah, that other MBS ship there's tried to do it, but he's put his front right through the middle of him. Oh, it's getting a little bit spicy down here. Everyone seems to have set the jump drives to about 5k as well, so they can quickly jump around, re-maneuver. And that looks like a DBS ship there has come into the fray. The MCRN ship doesn't look too good. It looks like he's passed out on the side of the jump drive. This guy's holding pretty firm with his 2 rings around him to support him. And the Alliance seems to be holding, even though it is very patchy at the moment, if they're still working together or not, or they just happen to be focusing the DBS ships and the Dash ones over their others. So as the Tracer splits, and look how beautiful that is. Nothing beats the weapons core pack. It's damn fantastic, isn't it? We have... who's going on over there? I'm trying to work out exactly who's still in control. MCRN are physically at the point, but I'm not seeing too many ships to back them up. They've still got a whole ship intact. Looks like a little drone came in and got smashed apart. So for the moment, I would say MCRN are still in control of the jump gate. By the skin of the teeth, though. They've not got much fire going out. Loot Goblin's still impaled on the DBS ship over here. Oh, it's not looking good for them all. If Loot Goblin jumps out now, I wonder how much would actually be left. Oh, there we go. Speaking of the devil, he's jumped on out. And it looks like Indominus has still got some control. Where did Loot jump to? So did Loot jump to the other side? Oh no, MBS are coming back in with the wrecked ships. I'm not sure where Loot Goblin jumped to at the moment. Maybe he's going to try to make a push on the centre, or leave DBS up there to repair, but I don't think there's much coming back for Indominus right there. He's not got any weapons left, and his ship is just a hulk of what it used to be. And what's he even holding on to in there? It doesn't look like there's a cockpit or an interior left. And of course, they're still targeting some of the important modules. Yeah, I would definitely say MCRN have the point locked down at the moment in time. The other factions are trying their best, and I'm sure when it gets a little bit closer to midnight, they'll all be making a push. There'll be no alliances, and everyone's going to want to make into the middle. MBS getting targeted heavily down at the bottom by 2 ships. MCRN still holding close to that point with their main ship. And there's a little bit of laser and railgun firing. Yeah, that ship's no longer alive. They should target a different target. It's always difficult to see when something... Ooh. Look at him, he's nipping around. He's got to be really careful in this small ship. He's doing a little bit of damage to Indomitus's old ship, but if he gets caught out in some of this tracer fire in that small vessel, he's going to be in trouble. We've also got this ship that's getting hit from the flank. He's realised, he's activated his jump drive, and he's going to get out of there. Is this one of the Dash ships? Yeah, it is. So this is one of the Dash Arrowhead ships with the doors. They have 1,000,000 doors. Targeting him from the side, and a nice play on the player there, managing to jump out. Still receiving a bit of damage, but keeping himself in a relatively safe position. MCRN still on the point. So, quick overall of the battle at the moment in time. MCRN on the point. We have got Roffeltron, who's drifting back in with a very damaged ship. We've got Ryan cruising around the area as well. Dash are starting to make some encroachment onto the area. Some of the DBS ships have been damaged beyond critical point. A lot of the NBS ships at this moment, the Star Trek ones that we've seen, are almost out of action or running on fumes. There's a lot of bloody holes in them, a little more like cheese than ships at the moment in time. But yeah, MCRN still on the point, holding it down, manoeuvring that alliance, so to say, into a position to keep them in the middle. Oh, there's Indominus pointing around the wreck of his ship. This is going, all the hours I spent building this, and now it's just an empty hull. Dash DBS are still closing on the point. They're trying to wedge MCRN off it, aren't they? They just can't. The cargo ship is still firing. It looks like there is either an MCN vessel up there, or there is some sort of other Star Trek design that is supporting the cargo ship here. The cargo ship here he looks like he's seen better days as well. His front cockpit's totally ripped apart, but he's still manoeuvring, and that's all it takes. This Dash 1 sitting back at a distance is still probably 100% okay. Just have to keep his checks on his ammunition. And there we have it. We are very close to wrapping up this part of the video, just because we're so close to the end and my dog is about to bust in and kill me. So with him taken care of, you can see the cargo ship is going full thrust towards that jump gate. It's going to try to maybe wedge itself in there and stop the other players from getting in there. It's going to be a mess whatever happens here. Oh, collision with the side of the jump gate. If that breaks the jump gate, well, it looks like we're going to have to make some repairs. And send Conrad out there with a welder to fix that jump gate up. With all this tracer fire, it's not going to be super good for his health. You can see up above we've got Luke Goblin firing down with all his cannons. And I'm going to wrap that part up here. Stay tuned for part 3, where we're going to see the end of this battle and see who comes out on top.